Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and I just got back from the store where I purchased the latest Ninjago book to come out, LEGO Ninjago Secret World of the Ninja New Edition. Of course, the most interesting thing about this book is the fact that it comes with an exclusive Samurai Lloyd minifigure, which doesn't seem to be based off anything from the TV show, at least as of what we've seen so far. Rather, it's just a custom design sort of based on Nia's Samurai X design from Crystallized, but it's for Lloyd instead, and that's definitely very interesting. I'm excited to look at that figure, but we're not going to take a look at him just yet. First, I want to go through the actual book itself. This is, of course, the new edition of the Secret World of the Ninja, so there was a previous version of this book, which I do have. However, I'm not sure if I actually ever read it. I think I just sort of bought it for the minifigure and then never touched it. So I will flip through this here in this video. I'm not going to show you the entire book because, of course, you need to go buy the book yourself if you want to see everything, but I'll stop and point out whatever I find the most interesting. But for now, let's just get this opened up and see what's inside. So you can see there's actually a little tamper seal over here, which I don't believe previous LEGO books have had, and that's just to show that, hey, the minifigure is still in here, which is definitely a great change because previous books, the minifigures would get stolen a lot. So now you know if you go to buy this book, if that's still there, the minifigure should still be inside. I think I will actually remove them right now just to have them out. Lift this up right here, and yep, there's all the pieces right there. That's actually kind of interesting they have to put the minifigure together. In the past, I think these minifigures have come pre-built. Yeah, let me take those parts out. But now let's move on to the book itself, The Secret World of the Ninja New Edition. So here's the table of contents right here, and it looks to sort of just be a summary of everything that's happened in Ninjago so far. It's got info pages on each of the different ninjas, as well as summaries of the seasons, it looks like. Some of the ninjas' allies, too. It's a Skylar and Pixel. Harumi's got her own page in here, too. So yeah, I think I'm just going to start flipping around. So the bio page on Wu shows them all throughout the series. We have Master of the Mountain, Core, Hunted right here, as well as Legacy. And there's also screenshots of the show as well. Here we have testimonies from some of the ninjas' allies and enemies as to what it means to be a ninja. That's kind of a funny concept. Griffin Turner's here, my boy. I love that guy. Definitely a very weird selection, but I'm happy to see characters like Jet Jack and Griffin Turner here. Here's the bio page on Kai, and it does seem like they're mostly focusing on like the more modern era of Ninjago when they're summarizing all of this, but there is still a few bits that point back to the origins of the ninja. Alright, skip it around a little bit. Here's the page on what do ninja wear, and it's a summary of some of their different robes over time. They mention Lloyd becoming the Golden Ninja, but then they use his Golden Legacy robes, which not exactly, but sure. They refer to the Skybound robes as the Airjitsu robes, which is technically correct, I think, in universe, but in the toy, like, Airjitsu is a different suit, so that's why I typically just call them the Skybound suits, because Airjitsu suits are a different thing. They refer to the core suits as just dojo suits. It mentions that Cole's the first ninja to unlock Spinjitzu Burst. If this was a different piece of media, I would maybe say that this is a hint towards something to come, but as we just saw, these books don't always get everything right, so I don't think that's pointing towards anything in the future, like other ninja unlocking their Spinjitzu Burst. Definitely would be cool to see one day, though. Here's the bio page on Jay if you're interested. Also, very importantly, it lets you know he's a gamer. Here's a page on where do the ninja live, and it mentions that the monastery has been destroyed 2 times. That's kind of funny. Here we have some vile villains, and yeah, it's just a bunch of the villains over time. Here's the page on Lloyd, and they actually used a screenshot from season 1 of the show, which is pretty cool to see. However, it's a very low-resolution image. Like, Lloyd's face right there looks very grainy. I feel like they probably could have got a better screen cap than that. Here's a page with some of the dragons. We got Legendary, Water, Fire, and Thunder. And it mentions that Nia was always afraid of letting her team down, but when she accepts that failing is a part of learning, she is finally able to summon her water dragon. But yeah, obviously, if you've seen the show, this is not a water dragon that Nia summons. That's not what happened at all. That actually is Nia. And then this down here, he might be the master of lightning, but Jake can harness the might of thunder, too. The thunder dragon fuses strength and speed, just like its ninja master. I don't know, a lot of this just feels like it's made up on the spot. Like, this doesn't really tie into anything that happened in the show or in the toy or anything at all. I think the book, at the very least, is fun for kids. Like, I think I could imagine myself having fun flipping through this when I was little. But yeah, someone who's been a fan of this franchise for a very long time, getting so much wrong, not great to see. This definitely could have been a more useful resource, and it's just not. Okay, this page is actually pretty cool. It's a page on myths and legends, and it's about like all the different ancient creatures and artifacts and everything that we've seen in Ninjago so far. Here's the bio page on Nia, and it once again mentions her summoning her water dragon, but after the events of Seabound. And then it's got a picture of Jerry right here. Sure. The Overlord gets his own page too. Oh, he made it. He got in. There he is. You guys see him? There's Pyro Whipper right there. I'm glad he made it into the book. Pyro Vipers, a long-gone Hypnobrai tribe brought back to life with the power of lava. The Pyro Vipers are out for revenge against whoever it was that defeated them the last time. Yeah, I think that's close enough. We can go with that. I don't think it's ever officially confirmed that they are Hypnobrai. They just look a lot like Hypnobrai. But yeah, that's close enough. Anyway, this is on a whole Enemies Ninjago page. Here's the info page for my favorite ninja, Zane. And this is so weird. The pictures just don't match what they're describing. They talk about Titanium Zane in the corner right here, which is great. Like, obviously that's important. But it's got a picture of Versus Zane right here, which is obviously so far from his first titanium robes. No idea why they didn't use a picture of actual titanium Zane, but alright. There's a whole page about the Firestone mech for some reason. I don't know why that of all things gets its own page, but sure. Okay, this is actually pretty cool. A page on weapons, and it's all like the different collectibles over time. They've got specific ones like the golden weapons up here, the time blades, the techno blades, but also just more general ones like the katanas and Wu's staff. Or I'm sorry, the Staff of Dragons gives its wielder dragon abilities. Is that a thing I'm forgetting? I don't think that's a thing. Hold on. No, actually, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. The Staff of Dragons actually is a thing on LEGO's website back in 2011. They used to come up with descriptions for the other golden weapons besides the main four that came in like the spinner sets, and that's why we had stuff like the Flail of Ice and the Spear of Lightning, and I guess the Staff of Dragons was one of those, but yeah, that's not a thing that ever happened in the show, and it's not real. That's actually a very obscure, weird thing to call back to right here. I assume someone just looked it up on the Ninjago wiki and was like, yeah, sure, throw it in the book, whatever. Next, here's the bio page on Cole, who has a cool guitar shirt over here. Here's a page on the Elemental Masters, which is pretty neat. It doesn't seem to be updated to include Camille, which is a little bit disappointing, but it does look to have the rest of them here that have had minifigures. Obviously, things like the Time Twins and Moro are not here, but they would also fit into like the villains section. Here we have good and evil, and showing characters with their good versions and their evil versions, including Tech Wu, my favorite character to ever be a part of Ninjago. Here's the character page for Skylar if you're curious. Oh, and then we got the page on Ninja Gamers. That's very important. Here's the character page for Pixel, and it mentions that she has a strong friendship with Zane. Not sure that's the way I would describe their relationship, but I mean, I guess so, technically, yeah, that is true. Oh, and then of course, very important, the page on Harumi. Test of friendship. Harumi's friendship with Lloyd has always had its ups and downs, but there's always been a connection there. When Harumi finally realizes the ninja are not her enemy, Lloyd welcomes her with open arms. I'll let you guys take from that what you will, and we will move on to Army's Attack, where you can see the Hydra Whippers made it into the book as well. Though yet another thing that this book got wrong, it's got their names wrong right here. Definitely very disappointing to see. We got the Virtues of Spinjitzu. The Crystal King also gets his own page, even though he is just the Overlord. And weirdly, it doesn't mention him being the Overlord at all. It like keeps it a mystery here, even though they already talked about the ending of Crystallized. That is very, very strange. And right, yeah, then here is the ending of Crystallized right here. But for some reason, they don't talk about his identity on this page. And once again, very low-res screenshots from the show. They definitely could have got better ones. And then at the end, we have a new reality, which talks a little bit about Dragons Rising. We got stuff about Aaron, Sora, Lloyd, Imperium, and of course the Ninjago City markets. And then here's the very last page where it lets us know that Nia has been learning all about dragons, and Zane saying his iconic line, "Welcome to Team Ninja." And then, yeah, that's the end of the book. So overall, in my opinion, this book honestly isn't great. But I loved these kind of books as a kid, specifically the character encyclopedias and the visual dictionaries. And while this do get things wrong every now and then, like, I don't know, there is still a lot of information in there. And I think that's what something this should be. It's like a great starting off point for kids just getting into the show. Like, here's all this info for you to know. But it really feels like the person writing it doesn't know very much themselves, because there is little things in there that they got right. But there's also just a ton that they get wrong, and I feel like a quick Google search could fix a lot of those issues. However, with all that being said, most people aren't actually buying this book for the book. You're buying it for this guy right here, the minifigure. So now let me put that minifigure together so we can take a look at it up a little bit closer. Here's a look at Samurai Lloyd up close, and honestly, I really love this guy. First, of course, I do want to mention this would not have been my first choice for an exclusive Ninjago figure. There's so many like canon suits that we've never gotten before that I much would have preferred to this. However, with all that being said, this is at the very least creative and unique. It's not just like a generic ninja suit. And it's also just a fun sort of what-if concept. What if Lloyd never became a ninja and he was a samurai instead? But on top of all that, I just really love how this minifigure was designed. They did a great job with it. My favorite part for sure has to be how the torso here is bright green. That's the color that Lloyd uses on his Dragons Rising suit, but he never really used before Dragons Rising. But that shade of green pops so much more than LEGO's just classic green color. And with the gold printing on top of it too, it looks really, really beautiful. You can see, of course, there's a golden dragon symbol right there, and Lloyd has used dragon symbols throughout his entire time as a ninja. However, this one seems to be ever so slightly redesigned. It's similar to his classic symbol, but it's a little bit different too. And I also kind of like that. It's mixing things up. It's not just throwing an old acid on there. It's still very clearly Lloyd's symbol, but it's also its own unique thing that just helps make the suit feel extra special. And then the dark green on the legs provides a nice contrast. We've got like a spring green for the belt, which honestly, that's the only part about this figure I'm not like super hot on. It's not bad by any means, but I think another color potentially could have looked better. And then he uses like this sort of spiked brown armor, which is very unique. I'm not sure if we've seen that in Ninjago before. Actually, sorry, no, that's the armor that Hero Wu used, but we never saw any of the ninja wear it before. But yeah, it actually fits really well with the whole samurai aesthetic. And then around the back of his torso, you can see Lloyd's got his more modern symbol right there, the letter L in Ninjago. And then there's also these sort of lightning effects down here, which do fit Lloyd, because a lot of times he does use lightning in his aesthetic. And then, of course, at the very top, he's just got the classic Ninjago samurai helmet in dark green, and then the Samurai X mouthguard in gold. Now, there's nothing that attaches to the top of his helmet here, unlike the Samurai X figure that we got in Ninjago Crystallized, which this seems to be based on. However, if you have any of the Crystallized sets, you get lots of extras of that part, so it's very easy just to add it on there if you wanted to. And then underneath the helmet, it's just the classic Lloyd face. It's not the Dragon's Rising face, so nothing all too special there. It's just the same face he's had since the movie. In terms of accessory, it comes with a brown katana, which is actually not the most common color for that part. It doesn't come in a ton of sets, so definitely another piece that's very nice to see here. So yeah, I don't know. I actually kind of love this figure, and I like it a lot more than I was expecting to. Again, if I was picking an exclusive figure, I probably would have wanted something from the show that we haven't gotten yet, such as like Future Kai. But this is just such a wacky and out there concept that I'm really happy it exists, and I would love to see more figures like this in the future. Just things that we'll never get in the show, but still sort of fit in the Ninjago world. So I'm gonna be completely honest, this might be one of the best exclusive Ninjago figures we've ever gotten. And so, overall, would I recommend you buy this book? It's definitely tough to say, because while I do really like this minifigure, these books are $20. Now, they do usually go on sale eventually, so it might be worth waiting, because the book itself I honestly don't think is great. Like, there is some fun stuff in there, but I feel like all this content is covered better by the Character Encyclopedia and the Visual Dictionary, which are also available right now, which also come with exclusive figures, so I don't really see any reason to buy this one over those, if you care about the book at all. Now, if you don't care about the price, you don't care about the book, you only care about the minifigure, I do think this is a minifigure worth picking up. The last few exclusives haven't been great. Like, Future Neo was fun, but they just really didn't go all out with that figure. I would have preferred more exclusive parts. And then Teen Woo was one of the worst exclusives we've ever gotten. This very much feels like a return to form. This is what an exclusive figure should be. It's a fantastic design, it's really unique, and it feels like a premium collectible item. So the minifigure I couldn't be happier with. The book itself's just a little bit disappointing. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this book and the minifigure in the comments below. Also, let me know in the comments what kind of minifigure you want to see in the next Ninjago book. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!